right, and welcome to another exciting year of Keeping It Real with Coach Neal. I'm Brandon Sands with the Seahawk Digital Network, joined now by UNCW women's soccer coach Chris Neal. Coach, how are you?
I'm good. Tired, but good. Preseason's been in full swing, and now we're got a couple of counting matches under our belt, and it feels like one of our freshmen said it best a few moments ago. She said the first couple of weeks felt like a big scramble.
Oh, absolutely. You've been with your team now for about a month. What have you learned about them within that month? I know you had a couple scrimmages, you've got the chance to play a few games, and obviously practice. What has that first month been like with your full team this year?
Well, we had a lot of new faces, so you have to learn a lot about them. What are they fully capable of? What type of condition did the players report in? You're trying to learn relationships on the field, who's going to play well next to each other, what players complement each other's playing styles. So we've learned a lot. It's almost overwhelming at times, so you have to sometimes zoom out and stick to the basics, but just an enormous amount of information the first 3 weeks.
Absolutely. You mentioned you do have a lot of newcomers, but you also have a lot of people coming back from that last year's championship regular season title team. What has that mix looked like? In the first two games especially, you've gotten contributions from those veterans that you've been able to rely on over the past few years, but also a Chloe Mills who gave you a goal in the first game. Hannah Weiss has stepped in and played admirable in the first two games. Talk about just that mix, blending those veterans like Italia Paris, Carrie Howard, and those with the newcomers.
Sometimes, that's hard for players to understand is what we're trying to accomplish as coaches early on. We already know the capabilities of our returners, and we need to try things and we need to experiment. And to do that, we have to play the young players and the newcomers. So there's a lot of experimenting going on. And as we move forward in this season, we have to settle on a rotation. And we have to settle onto the players that we think are going to get the lion's share of minutes. But right now it is full-blown experimentation mode. We played 31 players at Chapel Hill the other day. But, when it comes to the newcomers versus the returners, we know what our returners are capable of. Hopefully that we still get that this year from those players. And we're trying to really figure out which of the newcomers are going to best complement those players.
Now, one player that exhausted her eligibility last year is Audrey Harding, drafted by the Washington Spirit in the draft. I think any coach in the country would like to plug in a fifth-year Audrey Harding into her that top line and just let her go. But does her departure give you the opportunity to maybe open up that offensive attack and get more people involved to do some different things this year that maybe the league isn't going to be used to, having had Audrey the past couple years?
That's part of what we're trying to sort out. We dealt with that in the spring. What's our offense look like without Audrey in it? So we started that process back in February, and we're still working on it. You don't replace Audrey. You just have to find new ways. Getting a consistent group of attacking players that are going to be threatening has been a big hurdle for us so far. And there's so many variables that come into play. Jordan Fabry was a big piece for us last year. Well, she's coming off injury still, so we're slowly working Jordan back into that mix. Little things like that can affect kind of your consistency coming out of the gate, so to speak.
Is it good to be able to have a full spring and summer to sort through that? I know the previous 2 years you went from not playing any competitive matches in 2020, then you combine 2 seasons in 2021. I mean, at the end of last year, they had to have been exhausted now, but the returners, they come back, they were able to go through a full spring in the summer. Did they look a little bit more refreshed than they did this time last year?
Yeah, very different.
Yeah.
No question. And it was nice having a traditional spring under our belt before this fall, no doubt.
Preseason number 1, you're in your 5th year now at UNCW. Obviously, you spent 10 years at Elon. The league knows who you are. They know what they can expect from a Chris Neal coach team. South Division champions 2 years ago, regular season champions last year. You're not surprising anybody this year.
We're not going to sneak up on anyone, and that brings different challenges, right? So not that you don't sneak up on anyone in this league. Everyone knows that anyone can beat you on any given day, but we don't want our team to assume any different type of pressure because they were picked preseason number 1. That's not going to change who we are. It's not going to change our approach. it's certainly not going to lull us into a false sense of security, I can assure you. And we're just going to come out and try to win the next game every time we come out. Simple as that.
I think a big key to maintaining success is stability on the coaching staff and stuff. And by and large, you've been able to accomplish that in your 5 years here at UNCW. You did add an assistant coach this year, Dr. Colin Barnes, recently doctored, if that's the correct term, from Alabama. But that even then, he has a little background working with the players and familiarity with the program, and obviously, given your 2 decades plus history with them, So how big of an addition is adding Dr. Barnes, Colin, and his analytical background?
Sure. Anytime you add a new staff member, that can change the dynamic of the coaching staff, and that dynamic of the coaching staff is vital to the team. And you're right, consistency on your staff, I think, is really, really important to success. And we've been extremely fortunate with the type and quality of person we've been able to surround ourselves with on this coaching staff. And that is a major piece to our recent success in the past few years. So adding Colin, the nice part with Colin is that he brings just a world of experience at all levels, whether it's youth, whether it's collegiate, whether it's professional playing ability. And as an educator, he is an educator of the highest order. So he has stepped in seamlessly with all the great work that Sean Donahue had done for us in the past. And Sean is now enjoying life as an assistant coach at Florida Gulf Coast and doing a great job. So we feel very fortunate to have Colin on board. And in life, sometimes right place, right time is very needed. And we got right place, right time with Colin and his desire and his wife's desire to move back to the States from England. And so far, it has just been a dream for me as a head coach to have him on staff.
Absolutely. Before we get into this upcoming week's matchups, I want to go off the field for a second. Yesterday, I think you guys had a really cool opportunity to go to the beach. I think something that's rare and unique to living on the coast and going to a coastal school. Surfers Healing, you were able to interact with that charity organization. Why don't you just talk a little bit about that and how that benefits and adds to your program?
Sure. Yeah. Surfers Healing is a nationwide / worldwide organization that is founded and created to help autistic children experience the ocean. And it truly is a life-changing event and day every year that we feel extremely lucky to be invited to and to be a part of. I love it for our team right out of the gates because, like you said, it gets them involved in their community. It gets them involved in the coastal aspects of our community and giving back. And you can't help but come away from that day with a totally different perspective on life. The amount of joy that is experienced with the participants at Surfers Healing, with the staff, with the parents, it's truly something you won't experience anywhere else. And you have to be there on that beach to see it, to know what I'm talking about. And then there's the other side of it, just the spectacle of these surfers that are, some of them are current professionals, some of them are former professionals, some of them are just fantastic at what they do. But the ability to tandem surf with an autistic child or teenager or even adult out there in the ocean with all the elements is mind-blowing. So the technical aspects of it are also incredible displays. So it's truly a wonderful day, and just thank Nikki Bascom and Surfers Healing North Carolina for allowing our team to participate in it every year.
Awesome, man. That's a really cool opportunity that I think that you're able to afford your players here, because Wilmington, I think, is just it's such a cool community, and it's unparalleled. Truly, I feel you have to go somewhere else sometimes to see how unique and how awesome it is. As we turn back to the field, got a Thursday matchup at VCU, and then you come home Sunday against Coastal. Just a little insight into both those matchups. We'll start with VCU and the Rams.
Yeah, VCU has been a pivotal RPI game for us every year I've been here, the last 4 seasons. So, and they always put out a fantastic product, and they're always great games. I think the first year we beat them 2-1, and then I think they've beaten us the last 2 times. Last year I felt that we played right out of the gates, and we had a little bit of COVID in our team, so Audrey didn't play that game, Sophie didn't play that game. So we are dying for another chance, and I know it's going to be a fantastic atmosphere there. They typically have a band playing right behind the benches, which makes the atmosphere a little bit chaotic. But yeah, they do a fantastic job up there, and we're excited for that match. And then Coastal is obviously local rivalry. And the two teams that are wearing teal are going to get a chance to battle it out, for the Battle of the Beaches, so to speak. So Paul does a great job with Coastal, and we're looking forward to an exciting Sunday match there. And early in the season, these Thursday, Sunday swings are important because you find out, what your team's capable of on that first opening night on Thursday, and then you see how they respond on the Sunday, physically especially.
Right.
Mother Nature can provide adversity there too on a Sunday. It can be, I think we're actually playing the Sunday game at night though, so it won't be as bad as playing a Sunday day game. But just two great mid-major matches, and may the best team win.
Awesome. And before we get out of here, I got to keep it real with you. What has been the most, or you keep it real with me, what has been the most surprising thing you've learned about your team so far?
We have a larger roster this year than we have in the past. We haven't had to worry about travel rosters, or we haven't had too many selection dilemmas in recent years. And I didn't anticipate that we were going to have this many selection issues this year. So what surprised me is how much competition we have literally at every position. And we have tough choices to make as coaches a lot of the times. And without a doubt, the toughest dilemmas we're going to face this year are who we play, when we play them, who we travel, etc. So that has been a real pleasant surprise, but it also creates coaching dilemmas for us a little bit.
Awesome, man. Well, good luck this week against VCU and Coastal. This has been Keeping It Real with Coach Neal, with UNCW women's soccer coach Chris Neal. Coach, thank you so much.
Thanks, Brandon.